Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Phillip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Welcome everyone to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party. I'm Phillip Gilfus, and I'm joined this week by, the same people, by my co-hosts Darren Moser and Daniel Prue. Gentlemen, how are things going in your Trek world?
I mean, it's just us. I mean, I would be like, I am
it's just us?
So happy to be with my favorite co-hosts of all time. I mean, that's what I was expecting, but
yeah, that was a little. You were underselling us a little bit there, Phillip.
Well, I can't say that because I'm married to my other co-host. So
wait a minute,
Okay.
though. Hang on a second.
So he just threw down the
Hang on a
gauntlet.
second.
Now you know what must be done, Daniel.
Yeah, start your own podcast with someone you like. But I'll admit, because I do live in the other world, I have not been watching a lot of Star Trek lately, so I feel guilty. I've been doing the other time and space franchise a lot. But have you guys been doing any dabbling in the Trek world?
Professor Spacetime? Is that what you've been watching?
The question is not who, but when.
I haven't watched a lot of Star Trek as of late. A bit of a lull after Discovery, although I should definitely get back into it, I think.
Maybe you should have a bit of a lull instead.
Oh, nice. Very well done.
Okay. Well, we're going to be talking Star Trek, so this will be your dose of Star Trek for the week. Same thing for you listeners. You know, if you're having the post-Discovery blues or the Discovery hiatus blues, just let us know what you've been watching.
But okay.
Oh, you're right. The Discovery black badges.
Do we call the Discovery uniforms the blues?
Discovery blues. I think we should.
The dress blues.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And then there's can be that song, I got the Discovery blues. See, that'd be great. Well, this week, I thought we'd kind of do a little thought nerd experiment here, game, if you will. And we're going to be going through each of the television, live action, I guess I should always say, live action television series of Star Trek, and kind of give a little thought experiment. So I'll give an example. So say you're looking at the first season of the Star Trek: The Next Generation, and pretend for an instance that they had an engineer that was in charge all the time. I know it's a big leap of imagination, but then the engineer leaves after season 1, and it's your job to be like, man, who would we pick from the existing cast to be the chief engineer in season 2? I know, the con officer. That makes sense.
I do the Klingon because he's just gonna pound it until it works.
Exactly. So basically, we're going to be doing that for each and every series. I'm going to give Daniel and Darren a position that has been suddenly made vacant, either through death or promotion or an actor finding more opportunities to make movies or something, or write that novel.
End of contract disputes.
Exactly.
A transporter accident.
They get married in universe and thus have to be killed for some reason.
That's how marriage is. And so then they will have to replace that position with someone from that series. Now, it could be a main character, it could be tertiary character, it could be red suit first from the left from episode 12. We don't know. These guys are unpredictable. And I'm not going to go into any order, guys. That's how crazy this is going for series. It's 52 card pickup here. But the first one we're going to start with is one I sort of previewed with you all, so you'd have at least one to think about. So you're going to be on the spot for the rest. But the first one is going to be Star Trek Voyager. So you think of the Star Trek Voyager cast, what we saw throughout their 7 years, including 5 seconds of cameo in Star Trek Nemesis. And so Lieutenant Tuvok, or Lieutenant Commander Tuvok, depending on what season you want to use, is going away. So we have an opening in tactical/security or security/tactical, however you ship that. So, Daniel, I'm going to start with you. Who do you replace to fill that position in upstage right?
So the answer is easy. Anybody but Neelix. Literally anyone. It could be
Naomi
Root.
Wildman.
It could be Naomi Wildman before she was even born. You just put anybody in that position except for... Okay, I'm kidding. I'm teasing because it's silly. That whole idea was silly. please don't ever do that. You know what I actually thought about, and do we have to like follow any like in-universe rules for why they would be switching departments or anything like that?
You can make it like, for instance, to me that's why I always use the Geordi example, because we for instance, I think we all think, oh, Chief Engineer LaForge, of course, but then like you think about it, the con officer,
he changed
really?
departments and colors and everything.
So it has to.
He went from the front
of
of the ship to the back of the ship.
bowels. Yeah.
So my kind of out of left field answer, because I don't think any of the principal cast would fill that security role super well. I guess you could play it.
So you don't get a great sense of security from this cast? Is that?
I was going to say, I guess you could play it like the easy way and say B'Elanna, but I think that's cheap and easy, and she's already doing her thing.
She already got promoted to fill the chief engineer spot. So.
Exactly. I'm going to give it to Suter. I think Suter should be chief of security, as a little bit out of left field answer, and because of his tendencies, we'll call them.
Well, Tuvok will still be there then, in a sense.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's,
like Kirk would say, well, I'd like a Vulcan there,
because Kirk is, I don't know, reverse speciest. But yeah, no, it does remind me of sort of the Star Trek 3 moment, or no, Star Trek 4 moment of when Kirk asked for a scan and McCoy's like, scanning, indications negative at this type, and he's like, did I get it right? Because he has the Spock Katra, I guess that's Star Trek 3. But anyway, yeah.
And his eyebrow goes...
Ensign Suter doing that with a little Tuvok, yeah. I like that. Yeah, because, I think he was an interesting character, great character actor who, off the top of my head, I don't know if he's had a steady gig, because he was a character actor. I can't think of, like, a series he's been in. I'm sure he has. I just can't think of one. Dorf, I can't remember his name. Yeah, I think it would be an interesting, because we did a nice... character arc loop for him and what basics or whatever it was, and then you get killed off. You're like, oh, so
too soon.
I like that. Dan. I like that. We get a Beta Z on the bridge, right? It's been a while. A full Beta Z.
You
right?
would think that would come very well in hand as a security officer. I mean, you'd be able to tell who's lying or who's posing a threat.
Except when they run into the Ferengi on that random
moon.
Yeah, but when's that going to happen? And then the
next
Delta.
week.
Oh man. Oh wow. Okay, so what about you, Darren? Who are you going to replace Lieutenant Commander Tuvok with?
I also concur with my esteemed colleague and did not choose Neelix for this esteemed position. But no, I actually felt though that it could go to one of the regular cast members, and I chose 7 of 9. I think of any of them, she basically is the tactical officer when dealing with like the Borg, and she's already kind of got her Worf-esque console right behind the captain, so she's halfway there. But as far as security,
does she get a uniform? Please God, finally.
Finally, we'll just bring in that other admiral that'll finally put her in a uniform. Oh, well, and we all know that, like, she looks great in a uniform. Those Out of Time episodes where she's, like, Annika Hansen, it's like, yeah, let's just put her in blue. Although in this case, she's
now I want to rewrite Equinox, where Captain Ransom's in command for a moment, and he's like, 7, why aren't you wearing a uniform?
Just because you're a Borg doesn't mean you can dress differently.
I don't know. Ransom doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to get real stickler on.
I'm surprised they were still wearing uniforms on the Equinox.
Yeah, exactly.
We burned our pips to
they're all like walking around with coffee
circuitry.
mugs. Hey, Bob.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
But no, I think that, yes, she has that detachment from humanity as far as like, a lot of times she doesn't get things or she's overtly harsh. But I think if she channels that into, like, if she assimilated Starfleet protocol and channeled that into, she'd basically be the most by the book person, which is one way to run a starship. So I think she could do that.
I almost am picturing her first investigation. She'd be kind of bumbling through, or like grabbing the person by the collar, like, "Tell me what I want to know." And they're like, "That's not how you're gonna get information."
It's like Tom Paris exposes her to Dixon Hill novels and
hollow novels.
That doesn't go very well.
No, awesome. I like that. I picked Neelix, by the way.
No, you didn't. Get off the show. Boo.
Are you saying boo or boo earns?
Okay, so next is TNG, of course. And, you know, I hate to get rid of... We love all our characters. I hate to get rid of this one, but I just thought it'd be interesting because I think it's such a nebulous position. You can argue a lot of people in it. So, Lieutenant Commander Data has... he's, got promoted to first officer. He broke that positronic ceiling, got reassigned to the Tolstoy.
See, that's hard because I would put Data in almost any other position. So
exactly.
Data,
that's why I did the reverse then. So Darren, I'll start with you this time. Who would you place in operations?
You mean science officer? Because that's basically what he is. So put him in blue. Gosh, I maybe we just keep bring up Wesley Crusher. I mean, he was sitting in the front. He's got the nod down. They make eye contact.
Now you change his color because he was Command Red, so you're gonna turn him into yellow.
But
he was Cadet Red.
Yeah, that's not even. That's all the cadets.
When
red.
He was made full ensign because reasons, he was wearing red.
But he's true. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, giving it 3 seconds of thought, I think I would give. I think Wesley could rise to that challenge. Maybe if it's like season 6 and he's been there a while, not season 1.
No, I agree. I was going to say you say that. It's not like they gave someone fresh out of the academy an operations position in Star Trek. But anyway, that's Ensign Comp. But it's not the flagship. So I could see. I like that. I like that. So Daniel, are you concurring, or are you going to try to?
Yes. Essentially is the answer to that. That's what my initial thought was, but just to one up Darren, I will say
what is your name?
Exactly. Ensign Mendon.
Oh gosh. Oh wow.
I like it.
Oh.
I like it. Get a little
I feel bad
get some
for
more
the rest
aliens
of the
on the bridge.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
See, it's tough to replace Data though. That's an unenviable position because if you're going to be, held up to his standards, that's going to be pretty rough.
I think the exocomp. Just plug in the exocomp to.
I would love to see him sitting in the chair. He can't even
just hovering.
Exit comp.
Does he hover?
Exit comp.
Or does he
what's the
sit
status?
in the chair and then
what's the status? And then he his tool changes into like a finger and he's like touch typing like boop. Boop, boop, boop.
Wait, does it just like they say what you ask him like what the status is and he just like shh shh and it turns into a thumbs up?
Oh god.
Oh, nice,
is he just like emoji?
Ensign
comp.
Oh man.
Well, see, that it'd be like the Doctor. You'd have to think of a name. That would be like a whole gag for the whole season. What's your name? We just can't call you.
We could totally call you Ensign Comp. That's exactly what we're calling.
Well, because then we have to call him Exo Ops.
So I'm changing my answer officially to Ensign Comp.
Exo Comp. Okay.
For every possible answer in the future.
Exactly.
Chief Medical Officer Ensign Comp.
Now, it's like the Intrepid was full of Vulcans. You'd have some sort of Federation starship just full of exocomps in every position. And then when it blows up, Data's like, "What?
Wrong?
I feel a great pain in the wing."
Oh boy.
As if 1,000 exocomps were okay. Okay. Next is Enterprise, and this is a hard one. So I'll try to participate in this one because I this is difficult, but y'all can go for it. So, Daniel, we'll start off with you. So, we're going to be losing. I feel bad losing him because, really, what did he have already? But Mayweather.
Who? Oh, yeah.
So, we exactly. So, we have position open at Con.
He's going to the big sweet spot in the sky.
Exactly. He got, I don't know, he probably left because he wanted something that involved lines in a TV show. So, but anyway, so who are you going to fill the Con position on?
I mean, that's pretty obvious, right? At that point, you're gonna fill it with
Trip.
Forgot the dog's name.
Oh, Porthos.
Porthos. No, I don't even know. I can't even think of a lower ranking character that we know in Enterprise would even be appropriate. That's a tough one for me.
Maybe Archer
Enterprise Extra.
Oh gosh,
Seth MacFarlane. I'd put Seth MacFarlane.
That was gonna be my second answer.
God, This would be tough. Who would I replace? How about Crewman Daniels? I know he's from the future, but he could probably fly it pretty good. I don't know. That's tough. That's a tough one.
Okay, I'm gonna go outside the box on this one, and he's gonna stay captain, but Captain Archer is now gonna be a hands-on captain, and he's gonna not only command but fly the NX-01. I think he could handle it.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed, he doesn't actually sit in that chair that much. It's a little uncomfortable. So maybe if you could.
You could have him embarrass his friend from flight school.
Oh,
I can't remember his name now.
It's like
wait,
JG.
you
or...
can't do it.
He died.
I forgot.
Wow.
Oh, it'd be perfect for
Wow.
this role. Good old JG. Oh wait.
He only broke Warp 3 or whatever it was, Daniel. I think you could remember his name. Jeez.
It's like JG Anderson or something like that.
It's tough. That's a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's a small ship.
It is a small ship.
What about you, Darren?
No, I'm serious. I'd put Archer in. I'd have him fly the ship
Okay.
as well.
I was thinking that, he's a pilot.
Just
right?
one day he gets really mad. He just like rips that chair off its moorings and like steps in to take the helm, and he's like, "This feels good." And maybe he just, and then the next time they come back to the bridge, like his chair is now moved forward, so he's sitting there, but it's also got the flight console. He's like, "Hey, move science a little bit over here, and move tactical a little bit closer over here," and he just wants to do it all.
Now, what you could do is, and this would be even more difficult, but I'm going to go ahead and say, like, since we're going towards the TOS era, when Mayweather leaves, they're like, you know what? He was the greatest pilot there was. We really need two people to do that position because we need a navigator and a con officer, and then, you're going towards the TOS model.
You know what? I just thought about it. I have a good one.
Okay.
And I've forgotten the character's name, so forgive me. But the lady that Dr. Phlox had a bit of.
I was trying to remember her name too.
Yeah,
Crewman.
Yeah, she was great, and it would be awesome to see more of her character, and she could fill that role pretty easily. I bet.
No, I agree.
I'm not sure what her specialty was, but why not? It can't be that hard.
I think
to
she was a
find
medical
someone.
officer because that's why she's working with Phlox.
Oh, that's right. I think that's probably.
But you know what? Again, we'll make it make sense. It's fine.
Yeah.
We'll make
See,
it
I
make
know,
sense.
because maybe there was some sort of like thing with Phlox, and so it was awkward to work with him. So she requested a department transfer, and so
That's true. We rarely
hard
ever see Phlox on the bridge. So,
yeah, there's not that extra seat on the NX-01 for
well,
people
Bones
to sit
didn't have an extra seat. He just stood there.
right
He was just
as
bored.
a proper medical professional is supposed to do. All right, that's good. Yeah, I think it is hard because there's not a lot of extra people, but So DS9. Now, Daniel, I'm not trying to make your wish come true, but I thought not that this is a a position that doesn't do anything, but I feel like since they don't define it that well, I think maybe it's a little easier to fill with just about anyone. So I think, Darren, I'm on you now.
Okay.
So Kira, Major Kira or Lieutenant Colonel Kira, depending on when this happened, leaves to go, I don't know, command the Bajoran militia or I don't know, whatever. So anyway, the first officer position is open.
She's got a campaign
on
for
DS9.
running for Kai or something like that. Who knows?
Well, I don't think she'd run for Kai, but yes, first minister.
Isn't that
maybe.
how it works? I don't
Yeah.
even know. No. So yeah, okay. Because there's two things. Because there's basically she's the liaison to the Bajoran people, like as far as Starfleet's concerned. I mean, there's no other. Because she doesn't really have a Starfleet-ish role. I mean, is she
Right.
like the operations officer?
No, she's the first officer. That's
all
her
she is.
position.
Okay, the first officer.
I mean, she wears two hats
Yeah.
or earrings, if you will. But yeah, so
yeah.
so you can either go in canon and suddenly bring in Lieutenant Rowe, or if you're saying it has to be Bajoran, or you can just whoever you want. I would rather it be a DS9, but I'm not going to argue if you bring in Rowe.
I was gonna say, like, it's just then the Enterprise all of a sudden is docked, and we transfer.
During the wedding, there's some discussions, and
I actually think that that Jadzia could handle that. I mean, she's really competent, and she is the science officer. But I mean, Spock was number one as well as the science officer, and handled that just as well. he sat in the center chair several times, and she already has a great working relationship in the past. She has tons of experience. Oh my gosh, experience coming out of her ears. And
spots,
yeah. And then, I think you could do that, and then you could bring up, like a different Bajoran to just be like that liaison, like split into two parts. So you'd have like the liaison to the people of Bajor, and then, like, or the Bajoran representative, basically. And you could just have that be like, I mean, it's not my favorite character, but like you could have it be like Bareil or something, who just like has a permanent spot.
Marty falling asleep.
You know who I was thinking of?
Who?
If we're gonna separate those things and have one person actually be representative of the population of Bajor, would be Lita.
Oh. Is this married to the Grand Negus Lita, or just...
Well, we might be a little earlier on in the timeline.
Okay.
But she feels more like a real person as a Bajoran than a lot of the other Bajoran, especially like Bareil and these religious people that we meet.
If Rom can become Grand Negus, she can become the Bajoran liaison.
That needs to be like a T-shirt. If Rom can become Negus, then you can do anything.
Anything is possible. Only in deep space.
Now, my initial thought went to Jadzia as well, Darren. But as an out-of-left field answer, do you know what would be fun? A lot of fun? Just because...
Jake?
No, Jake would be terrible.
He's a writer. He's a writer.
I'm a writer, not a first officer.
Would be... Everybody wants more Garrick. Plain, simple Garrick.
Because it was built by Cardassians, we have to have a Cardassian in that role. Yeah, but nobody trusts Garrick.
No, you know what I could see, and this would never work, but I'm still going to go with it, that we still have Jajia's first officer, and Bajor picks Garrick to be their liaison.
Wow.
Make Bajor great again.
It's some sort of ironic thing of where they trust him to not trust to trust,
So many layers.
Yeah.
So very many layers.
Cool. So you would promote Jadzia to commander and put her in that position, Daniel?
Yeah, I'd pick Jadzia. If we're defining it specifically by relations with Bajor, then it might change my answer, but if it's an all-encompassing sort of role, then Jadzia is going to be.
No, I like your split idea
internally.
of Lita. So have Lita be the Bajoran ambassador, basically, and then, or just the she sits in on the meetings, because it's like this. I mean, remember when this agreement was first made, the station was in orbit of the planet. And then Starfleet happened to move it outside their jurisdiction over to this magical wormhole that wasn't there before.
And also, this was before he was the emissary. So I think Bajor may not feel the need to have a liaison when you have the emissary to the prophets as the commander of the station.
That's a good point.
I still like splitting it up. Because, you'd be like, yes, because you're the emissary, we don't feel the need for it to be the first officer, but we still want a Bajoran in the room because it's our station, really.
That's true.
So
they're just running it for them.
Yes.
She keeps waving the pink slip in front of Sisko's face. See, I'm entitled to be here.
Because I think that would be some, and the way DS9 does their writing. I always know this, but it'd be like some awkward, like first 1 or 2 episodes of her finding her position. Oh, I can't do this, and maybe Rom has to buck her up, or maybe she gets into some meeting where she has to prove herself, and she gets that confidence, and then from then on, she provides that. I could see that. Because obviously she'd be very different, of course, from Kira on how she, not coming from a warrior standpoint. But yeah, I could see
it.
And we get more of her backstory.
She feels more like a common person than Kira does. Like like an average Bajoran, where Kira feels like
an everyday Bajoran, yeah.
An everyday Bajoran, yeah, exactly.
Just your average Nerys. I believe that's what they call it. Now, this one's going to be hard, but that's why you guys get paid the big bucks. We are going to Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, okay.
So, this is hard, or at least it was hard for me, because I'm like, there's like 5 actors, and they're all rando positions.
Saru.
I haven't even named anyone yet.
I just know that Saru needs to replace Saru needs to replace
Nope.
as captain Lorca. There you go. Conversation's done. Sorry.
No, the person. Well, yeah, the person we're going to lose. I guess maybe we'll say for medical reasons, for grief reasons. There's so many reasons. Really,
We're going to remove the chief medical officer because
Lieutenant. No, Lieutenant Stamets is leaving the Discovery now. What his position is, I have no bleeding idea. So, but that position. Do you even have a spore drive anymore after this season?
He's an engineer to the chief, not the chief engineer.
Is it I mean, do we need any other mushrooms experts? But anyway, so I don't. Or maybe you can change things up. He's gone, and this is an opportunity to change the organizational boxes. I will leave it up to you. So
I mean,
I forget
you can technically see him leaving if they don't have a spore drive. Really, why is he there? Like, there's not. He's basically a project specialist, if anything. But
No. Michael's the specialist. I don't know if you've been paying attention.
For 90% of her screen time, she's been a specialist. But she's like they're like, oh, you could just be the chief engineer. He's like, I know nothing about dilithium, like at all. Like, what end is the top of the warp core? What? How do I do this? Okay, replaced. Gosh, that's actually really hard because it's like he's so specified. Okay, well, I guess it's semi-obvious in the fact that if the spore drive is still kicking around, or if we need someone to keep doing what Stamets does, it's got to be Tilly, because she already has
Ensign Tilly.
Promote her to, well, that's true. Yeah, Ensign Tilly, and then she already has kind of the working knowledge. Like, if anyone, like, she's the one where Stamets is saying, like, blah, 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 high-level technobabble, and she's like, okay.
And she's saying, bleeping cool!
Yeah. But then, she breaks it down in the PowerPoint so that everyone can understand, at the layman level. She's...
Now, Darren, in Discovery, the PowerPoint is three-dimensional.
Well, yes, that's what takes hours to prepare. But no, I think she could handle that. I mean, basically... Because most of the time when they're running the spore drive, Stamets isn't really doing anything but just being there. He's not actually...
He's hooked up to it, Darren.
Yes, I know he's hooked up to it, but, I mean, Tilly's pushing buttons.
So who else are you going to jam with the tardigrade DNA?
Oh, we're just going to farm... No, we're just going to farm out all of the tardigrades and just be a barbaric space society. That's totally what we're going to do.
Cool. Now, Daniel, what about you? Who are we replacing Paul Stamets with? Or are you just like going to get rid of the position and you're just going to be like, here's chief engineer. Let's actually see the bleeping engine.
Could see him leaving, and then Dr. Colbert just goes too. He's like, you know what? They could have made me chief medical officer. They didn't. But we're just both out of here. Okay, this is super hypothetical. So.
That's why I'm saying, for grief reasons, he could leave and maybe he comes back a year later,
with a beard.
That's true. Yes, totally.
He could do that. And he would definitely be the same kind of guy who'd be like, man, they drafted me back in here.
Oh, gosh.
I was thinking more like Captain America Infinity.
Well, I'm thinking like Riker, Season 2 beard.
Someone give that man a mushroom.
Someone get that man some spores. No, it's pretty obvious. I mean, there's the episode specifically where she's like trying to bring him back to life, and she's like, I'm the most qualified to deal with this situation. When she's talking to Saru, trying to revive Stamets.
And Saru's like,
if I make him alive again, you'll promote me, right? Or else he's dead.
And Saru's kind of like, well, I feel as the Kelpian on board that I actually am the most responsible person, but I guess I can let you handle this one, Tilly's.
So that's my obvious answer, but I like kind of coming up with an off-the-wall answer here.
Okay.
And my off-the-wall answer is Robot Lady, because I want to know more about Robot Lady.
Robot Lady would be good. Now, because I feel like we have this awkward... Well, to me it's awkward. Because she's still second officer, but I don't know what her rank is, and I'm sure it's me just not paying attention because you have the Braille comm badge. But is she a lieutenant commander or commander? Because the reason I ask is now you have Commander Burhnam, full commander, who, I mean, I guess you could still have lieutenant commander being second officer, but it doesn't really make sense. We have a full commander sitting right next to her. So I feel like, I don't know. You hate to demote her, right? But I guess it'd be kind of a promotion, right? Second officer is kind of an informal position. I'm sure she does something else on the bridge, which we don't.
We don't know. We don't know. No.
But no, I like that robot lady. I like it, and then we'll, she can come to meetings. We'll learn her name and all that stuff.
That'd be great.
Yeah, her robot backstory. She'll give robot PowerPoints.
Oh, they're very different. Mm-hmm. Lots of right angles.
And she has those Discovery Blues. All right, guys. Last but not least, this is going to be a hard one, but I know you guys are up to it. We're going to the OG, TOS. So Star Trek, because either maybe he finally got that promotion, or maybe, I don't know, there's a million things he hasn't done. Just you wait. Just you wait. And that is Spock. Ooh. Spock is leaving the Enterprise. Who are you going to replace Spock with? You know what? And I'm going to leave this a little open. I'm thinking the TV series. If you want to go movies somehow and take it that way, you can. But I'm really thinking more of the TV series. But you do what you want. So, Daniel, I know you love Spock. So who are you going to replace him with?
I do. But I know this young, promising female Vulcan who would fit the role just fine.
Sevixen?
Yeah, of course, that's kind of the obvious answer. But I don't... Oh, man. If we're going mostly TV show, I don't even know. We've seen that Scotty is good in command, right? He has a grasp of that position.
And that's true. Now, you can interpret Spock either way. Am I asking you for the new science officer? Am I asking you for the new first officer? That's right. You do you.
That's what I was going to say. It's like tough because you're replacing him in two roles. And you need somebody who's good at both. And I don't know. I mean, arguably Spock is best at both of all Star Trek characters. I don't know that we've come across one in TOS that would fit either or both roles as well. Man, that's tough.
Now, I'll give you a hint because I know you're not a TOS expert. So Chekhov was often seen as his sort of trainee. You know, he worked the magic kaleidoscope a couple times. So if you're looking for a science officer, maybe. But first officer, obviously. Now with Scotty though, where would he stand? If he can't,
well, yeah, because he's normally on the right side, and then he would have to, Okay.
Unless he just can't be in engineering anymore, because he has to be on the bridge if you're the first officer. I feel like, I mean, maybe that's a Phillip rule. Maybe we can throw that rule out the window. But I feel like you probably need to be on the bridge.
It's interesting too. If we're talking about the role, if for example, Star Trek the original series just popularized the first officer as science officer, just as a coincidence, for example. Right. So why couldn't Scotty just be chief engineer and first officer? Mm-hmm. Whereas he could exist on the bridge and still sit on the other side of the bridge and still do his engineering duties and also provide that first officer role as well. Mm-hmm. You know, Spock did double duty. Presumably Scotty could do as well.
Be filling out personnel reports and engineering where no one sees them.
Right.
That'd be cool.
I mean,
if something happened where the Captain Kirk was incapacitated, he just takes control in engineering. You know, mobile battle bridge. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Scotty.
Okay, I like that. Now, what about you, Darren? Who's replacing Mr. Spock?
See, I was trying to think of like a secondary character that we maybe see only in like one episode, or
You can't say Zahn.
No. Oh, there we go. It's obviously got to be Cybok. Just
stop it.
He's his brother.
Stop it.
Get out of here. It's a familiar.
See, I would have chosen. This is weird, Darren. I would have chosen Michael Burnham. That's what direction I would have gone in.
Gosh, I should have.
That would have been a better choice. That's a better sibling choice than picking Cybok.
Because I could see her. She's like, "You're going to stay on the Discovery with the but we're not going to make you, captain." And she's like, "No, that's not happening. I'm going on the Enterprise. You're going to put me on the Enterprise." Has that little scene like Uhura does with Spock.
You've been assigned to the Farragut?
Nobody wants to be assigned. It's the Hufflepuff of the houses.
Oh, wow. And it actually, oddly, suffers the same fate as Cedric does.
Oh, no, not Cedric. Oh, poor old Cedric.
But,
wow.
I could see Michael actually being at least an appropriate way to try to fill the role that Spock would leave. Obviously, that's kind of she was created to be, but I think she'd do well at both of those roles, except the occasional mutiny.
Look, that's been totally cleared from her record. Okay, you can't keep holding
never
that
happened.
over her.
Never. Oh goodness. Okay, guys. Well, that's it. We've gone through all 6 series. I mean, unless we can go animated, and we don't. So, I don't know. Any JJ people you feel like could have been in another position than they already were? Like, for instance, okay, who? Oh lordy, in Beyond, the woman character,
Carol Marcus.
Jayla.
Oh.
What position would you replace her with? Like, what position should she be on the Enterprise A?
I'd say tactical officer.
Well, I mean, we do have an opening in Navigator.
Oh, too awkward.
It's actually, I'm not trying to be funny. It is actually would have been his birthday this week, so Anton.
You know what?
So
Actually,
sad, but
I think if they did a 4th JJ movie, which it seems less and less likely as time kind of goes on. I actually think that would be a fitting way to put her into the cast
as like a cadet or something. Like
and I don't think that would be. I don't think that would be inappropriate. I think that would work very well for the storyline and kind of how everything went.
Well, Daniel, she's going to be pretty busy with those Mummy sequels. Do you think she'll have the?
That's wow. That is. Oh man, that's a good one. I was thinking the kind of role that they groomed her for in that episode in that movie was the Scotty role, of course.
Right.
But no, I think it would work super well if they ever were to come back and then. Man, I think that's actually a brilliant idea, and how to kind of fill that void when you kind of really can't.
And you could see her like falling in love with navigation and the stars because she had lived her whole life on that one planet, not able to leave it. So, yes, she has the engineering know-how, but once she gets out there, she wants to constantly. She knows the stars like really well because she's committed them to memory or something like that. Mm-hmm. And she still has her clipped accent of, I push the buttons and go to the sparkly things, maybe not that bad.
She could still make her references to wherever she's from.
The beats and shouting.
Well, listeners, if you either agree or disagree with some of our picks or have your own, feel free to let us know. You can either tweet us at the Nerd Party Twitter account, which is at Join Nerd Party, or on our Facebook page at the Nerd Party, and let us know what your thoughts are and maybe where we got it right or where we got it wrong, and who you would have replaced on the animated series. So, Daniel, what are we doing next week?
Next week is going to be a big surprise. I'm real excited about it. I have a lot in store for you, so please tune in next time.
All right. Well, until that exciting topic, which will leave us all on the edge of our seats unless we've been replaced, I'm Phillip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
I'm Darren Moser.
Stranded here on City Alpha 3.